Mic check. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? I see it. It's coming up. Mic check. Can y'all
Nice.
hear me now? Can you hear me now? There we go. You all good now? All right. Yeah, baby. Yo, that shit is crazy sometimes. You see what I'm talking about? Fucking auto interface. If you turn off the power on one thing, it disconnects all of a sudden. I go on and all my settings is off and shit. It's fucking ridiculous. All right, what's up, fight fans? Let's kick this show back off. Thank you for joining me here at Round One Sports Talk. I'm your host, Edwin, and we are going to be breaking down today Subriel Matias, our opponent, next opponent, which just was announced. The bout is to take place in Puerto Rico in June. In fact, I believe it's June 15th. If that's the date for the fight, I'm going to be in Puerto Rico. Yes, I will be. And if I can, I just might show up to the fight. Okay. Um, Hell yeah. If I'm in Puerto Rico and Subria's fighting in that day, yeah, I'm probably gonna go to the fight. More than likely. Yeah. So I'm gonna be out in Puerto Rico for my birthday, and it's in June. June 14th is my birthday. So I know that I'm gonna go out there and so that's gonna be exciting. So anyway, let's get into the opponent. Liam Paro. Paro is his next opponent. He's a British fighter. He comes to us with a record. Now, negotiations between this fight, they tried to put this fight together a while ago, right? And it fell through. So they went back and revisit the fight. Okay. Um, and they picked him. Now, we're gonna be taking a look at his style. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. And we're gonna be looking at some of his highlights so you can get a little bit more familiar of who he is. He is currently right now the WBO global champion for the 140 pounds. Teofimo Lopez is the WBO super champion. You see? So he's the global one. He comes to us a record with 24 fights, 15 big ways by knockout, and he's undefeated. Okay? So here's another undefeated fighter going to fight against Subriel Matias. Okay? So like I said, we're going to be putting up his fight on the screen. And let's just take a look and get a little bit more familiar of what he looks like. Okay? These are his highlights and knockouts. We're going to take a look at his style, break it down a little bit. When I play it, please let me know if you can hear it. Okay. All right. Let's check my man out here. He's got a good bounce to his step. Pretty quick. He's got good movement. He's fighting off the back foot. Ooh, nice straight right down the middle. Sat him. Woo! He got him in all kinds of trouble. Oh, look at him. He's doing a Subriel in the ring. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. We can't judge him off one fight. Okay. So let's continue watching. Oh, that was pretty quick. He's got that nice 1-2, and he fakes the jab, and with the punch he wants is his right. Lefties are always a little tricky, but they're beatable. And he's got pretty good speed. Got pretty good speed. He likes to stand in the inside. He sees he mixes it up. And that's against these kind of fighters. Once again, they're not putting the kind of pressure that a Subriel Matias would be putting on them, on him. He's able to stand in there with this guy, and you see this guy right here. He's fighting him, but for the most part, Liam is controlling this fight. His opponent looks just a little bit a level below him, and these are one of those fights that he's showing that he's moving up. You got to take out the competition. He's an Australian. Isn't that like British people? Like, no, Australian. I saw his flag. I thought that was a British flag. Nice. He attacks the body good. That check hook, I've been paying attention to that check hook. That's like one of his good weapons. If you step in on him, he's gonna hit you with that check hook. I like how he starts off everything with his jab. He uses his jab to come in to come in. That's the way you want to come in. You just don't want to come in on the guy without, using that jab. And he's using that jab not so much as a rangefinder, but as a blinder. He has his distance already. He knows his distance. And he flicks the jab in his opponent's face to make him cover up, and then he goes in for the next whatever his opponent's giving him, whether he's gonna come around the guard to the body or he's gonna follow it up top or come around his opponent's guard with a hook. He got this guy in all kinds of trouble. He had him all figured out. And let's check this out. Oh, I like that. Yeah, this guy. Mm, mm. What's up? All right. Thank you for joining in. We're checking out Liam Paro. 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 How do you say his name? Paro. And this is gonna be Subriel Matias's next opponent in Puerto Rico. Look, like I say, he looks good against these kind of guys. This guy doesn't really, and his opponents so far haven't really shown me that there ain't no Subriel Matias. Look at this guy. He's just covering up. And he's just doing whatever he wants in there to these guys. He's not going to be able to do that to Subriel, I tell you that much. The kid looks good. He looks tough, but he looks just like every other opponent that Subriel has come up against to me. I've seen what I need to see. If you want, I'll play the rest of them. But truthfully, I kind of saw. I don't need to really see any more. Um, what am I doing here? Stop moving things. Is that locked up? All right. Yeah, I seen what I needed to see. Look, he moves pretty good. Yeah, he does move pretty good. And I seen it. Um, he moves. He moves good. You can tell that he has good distance management. Um, and once he has you figured out with that jab, he figures out his opponent's range. Although the tests that I seen him in, it was real easy to figure out. The guy was standing in front of him. Subriel Matias is gonna apply a different kind of fight to that man. The fight's gonna look totally different. Now, whether or not we all know, could you round by round survive Subriel Matias's barrage or his onslaught? You see where that Liam, in those fights, everything that I saw him in, um, he if he needs to fight on the outside and you're not doing anything, he's gonna bring the fight to you. It kind of looked like Subriel Matias' last five fighters. That's what he looked like. All five of those last fighters Subriel Matias fought, They all look like that or better. Yeah, they did. And what happened to all those men? Subriel Matias is a different kind of creature, and he's going to be fighting in Puerto Rico. This is a great opponent right here, and this is a good opportunity for the young man Liam. If your opportunity arises, you got to be willing to take it. This is the sport you're in. You can't be afraid of no man. You're the best thing since sliced bread. It has to go down like that. Liam Smith has been interim champion after interim champion. As I looked up his record, uh, he is now currently the WBO global. He did at one time had, I believe it was the IBF International Super Lightweight title. I believe he vacated that belt. He had both of those belts at the same time. Both of those belts are smaller belts. They're interim belts. As you can see, that Teofimo Lopez, in fact, is the 140-pound WBO champion of the world. The interim champion underneath that is Liam. It is this guy right here. That's who he is. So, I mean, he does possess a 62% knockout ratio. Okay. He's 5'8". He has a 71-inch arm reach. He's 27 years old. He's been in 123 bouts. Okay. The toughest thing he's gotten all the way up into his career is a WBO Global and the IBF International. Um, those are pretty good achievements, and he's undefeated. So, I might go back in a little bit. We'll check out some more of his highlights and stuff and see if there's any opponents in there that kind of fight or similar to Subriel so that I can kind of see him in those situations. I'm trying to get familiar with the man. I'm not quite familiar with him. So I was going to break down his video as I watch with you guys. Might as well, you know. Um, I was like, well, we'll check him out together, So this is basically my first time checking this guy out, really. Um, so what I thought so far, I'm gonna have to go do a little bit more homework on him. You don't want to just take the first impression you see of something and be like, "Oh, I figured him out." Nah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I have to go back and watch the rest of his fights. I gotta see, more details about him. But this is who he is. That's Subriel Matias' next fight. Last night in the live, I had asked my audience, you know, um, the question at the end of the live stream. I had asked them, who would you like Subriel Matias to fight? you know and I was talking about Michelle Ali, right? And I was like, Ali needs to stop fucking around with that man because boxing sometimes a small circle. You could run into a motherfucker at a boxing match and you never know who shows up at the next match. So you know unless you really want that smoke, don't cause those problems. Unless that's what you really feel and you're pursuing that. Don't play around with that man. You know what I mean? So look, Subriel Matias himself, okay, he has one loss. He has one loss. We've seen him get dropped in a fight. All right. So when we're talking about this alleged boogeyman of the 140 pounds division, let me tell you something. If most men and viewers and like boxing reporters are saying the same thing, that he is considered the boogeyman of the 140-pound weight division. We know you can't be a boogeyman with a world title. By definition, the boogeyman is the man that the champions are scared to fight. He obtained the IBF, but somehow miraculously, he's still the boogeyman of the division. The other champions don't seem to want to fight him. The only champion in the 140-pound weight division that is skilled enough and I believe has enough in him to really give Subriel Matias a lot of problems and maybe even, in fact, beat him. In my eyes, it would be a 50-50 fight, would be young Devin Haney. To me, that would be a 50-50 fight. I don't know how to call it. At one point, I was honest. And Subriel Matias is Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. And I was honest with my assessment. At one point, I was picking Devin Haney in that fight should they ever meet, because I just think that Devin Haney has more weapons. He has, if he needs to go in his back pocket for some, in his bag of tricks, he can do that. Devin Haney has multiple different styles and different ways he can fight his opponent. He's shown us a few different styles of his fighting, but he really didn't have to show us too much. There's things that Devin Haney can do in the ring he hasn't done yet because he hasn't had to. He hasn't had to do it yet. But when Devin Haney's put in these situations, trust me when I tell you, if he needs to, Devin Haney can fight certain ways, and I even think he can fight, great going to the left, lefty. He can switch it up. So, Devin Haney's been around way too many great coaches, great legends, boxers. He's been in every boxing gym you could probably imagine. He's sparred the who's who in boxing. He's fought against lefties. He's done it all. So I know for a man that's been around that, a kid, Devin Haney, that's been around that many great legends and that many great boxing minds, that would be a huge flaw if he couldn't switch it up. It would be a huge flaw. I don't believe that, but he's never been put in those situations. So he didn't really have to ever do it. I believe in one of his fights he did switch up lefty. Um I forgot what fight it was. But yeah, young Devin Haney would be for me the only man in the 140-pound weight division that I honestly believe could beat Subriel Matias. It's a 60-40 fight for me against Teofimo Lopez. If Teo catches him, like square on the chin, Teo can knock anybody out. Teo, if Matias is standing there like this and Teo caught him, Teo knock him out. Hell yeah. I think Teo can, he's got a big punch, but he's got to load up. He's got to load up, and he kind of had a like had you figured out, and he just come over, boom, and he'll drop it on you. And well, I seen that punching power at 135. I seen his punching power there at 140 with the much bigger guys. Well, his competition has been a little uh well, I mean, he's not catching these guys like he was catching them at 130. These guys are not green. They not rookies and shit. Well, he caught a world champion at 130, knocked him the fuck out. So I haven't really seen his power that much at 140. In fact, well, damn, I'm drawing a blank right now. Hmm. Well, nah. Well, anyway, it's between those two guys. That's it. It's Tio and Devin. Tio and Devin. Hmm. I might be thinking a little fast here. But let me check some shit out right here, real quick. IBF champion is Subriel. The WBA Super is what's missing. That's vacant. That's what, huh? Rolly Ramirez is the WBA World. He's not the WBA Super. The the WBA Gold. Is that what the old man got? He got two belts, the IBO too. Yo, boxing is crazy, man. Boxing is crazy. All right, so in the 140-pound weight division, Yeah, those are the only two guys that I believe they'll be giving Subriel Matias his best fight. Well, I like this fight right here. I'll take Liam. He looks pretty good. I believe that shit, he could upset the cart. But in Puerto Rico, that's gonna be fucking difficult to do. That's gonna be really difficult to do. That's the only problem, is that fighting him in Puerto Rico. You don't want another prime Subriel. So let's take a let's finish up checking out Liam here. I really He puts his punches together pretty good too. But all five of his last fighters, Subriel's last fighters, they all look like that, didn't they? They even look stronger. This is another undefeated fighter right here. Just keep it in mind that he's undefeated. Listen, if he makes this guy quit, I think that'll be like how many undefeated fighters in a row he may quit already. I want to check that out. But I'm gonna Yeah, these guys, see, they're not Subriel Matias quality, his opponents. At least these guys are not. I'm trying to watch the rest of this film study right here to really see if uh he starts moving up in his level of opposition, and we start seeing him with better opposition in front of him, and how he fares against better opposition. See this guy right here, like guys like this? Nah, nah. Let's check out the next guy. It's a little wild. Hmm. He's controlling him. This guy looks like he wants to get in on the inside and mix it up, and he's keeping him on the outside. Similar fighter like Subriel, but Subriel would have took those shots and he would have kept coming in. His pressure would have had this kid Liam going backwards. That hook is nasty. He has. If he throws that jab over, he's gonna hook him. Watch. Mm, he's gonna time him. Did you guys see that? What round is this? It's the 10th round, though. Is it the 10th round? Yep. Mm. See, these guys are not convincing me. He's looking good against these kind of guys, man. But look at this. He just got these guys going back. He knows what to do. He knows what to do if you stand in front of him. I haven't seen anybody he fought that gives him that kind of pressure. He doesn't know what that is yet. He doesn't know what that's like. He better get some good sparring partners in the gym that could really push him. Because if he don't find somebody that's gonna push him like that, shit, you're not. Listen, yeah, that's the end of his little highlights. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Honestly, I'm not convinced. I Look, I it's tough to go against Subriel Matias nowadays with that tear that he's been on. He's been in on an incredible tear. It seems like that defeat that he took really like motivated him to get his shit really together. Since that loss, no man has been able to finish a fight with him. And I talked about this on my last night live. When you put your fighter into fight a kind of fighter like Subriel Matias, at what cost? At what cost? The op, to fight a fighter like Subriel Matias, you want to get in there and see if you can get out of that there like I wouldn't say unscathed, but the less amount of damage. You do not want your fighter mixing it up with him all night. He's a slugger. He's gonna brutalize your fighter, and if you lose, then you just put a lot of miles on your fighter, and if you win, you just put a lot of miles on your fighter. At what cost is it gonna take to beat a fighter like Subriel? You gotta catch him clean, cold, bang, knock him out and get in and get out. Best case scenario. But if you gotta battle it out with this man, I wouldn't advise you to lay up against the rope, and I would devise a plan where that you try to keep him on the outside of your punches and your fighter can stay on the ball of his feet for 12 rounds. I wouldn't want my fighter engaging with him. As soon as his back touches those ropes, get the fuck off those ropes. You do not belong on the ropes against a fighter like that. So, you know, it's tough to fight a man like that. But look, if I was Liam Smith, I mean, not Liam Smith, I'm sorry. Liam Paro, Paro. If I was Liam there, I would get on my bike. I would try to utilize my jab. I would use my footwork. I would get in, get out. Don't stand there and admire your work. Don't stand in front of him. Try to keep your side to side movement, and cut angles on him. Be quick about it. Push him back. Keep Subriel frustrated. You know he's gonna keep coming to you, right? The one thing that Subriel does when he allows you through the front door, the very first thing he does is he shells up. He shells up like this, right? And he allows you to punch first, right? I noticed that, right? And then he sits there like he's not doing nothing and he wants you to be comfortable. And he's like, oh, he ain't doing that. I got him shelling up. And when you stand there to try to go around his body, that's when all of a sudden your side of your head is going to be notified by his fist. He's just going to snap it as soon as you try to go downstairs to his body, right? And that's his setup. When he's going in on you, he stops and he just goes like this. And the guy fires off on him. Bah, 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 bah. And he goes like this and he takes one more step forward. The guy goes to fire off again. Boom, boom, boom. He gets hit with big shots. And that's how he does it. Like that. Once Subriel has you in the situation where that you're not moving anymore, and because pushing a fighter backwards can cause a lot of fatigue. If he got Liam going backwards and he's not used to fighting backwards like I've seen in his fights, I've never seen him fight going backwards. That's exhausting. At some point in the fighter's going to say, yo, I'm getting too tired going backwards, that he's going to decide not to go backwards anymore. And when he finally makes that decision not to go backwards anymore, it's pretty much checkmate right there. Subriel has you right where he wants you. You're not going backwards no more. You're not evading. You're standing in front of him. It's over. It's only a matter of time after that. That's his game. So you would have to have a good gas tank. You would have to have good feet. And you would have to have a little something up top, a little more than a little something up top. Mix it up well. Get in, get out. And could you do that for 12 rounds? Matia is going to tire Haney out. Honestly, I've followed Haney since he was in amateur days. Haney slugs with guys who cut off the ring and out. Yeah, He doesn't swing wild and he doesn't swing out of position, Matias. He really knows what he's doing. Uh, by him shelling up and everything, that's another tactic of allowing his opponent to like flare off on him, right? Okay, now, what are usually sometimes when an opponent fires off on you like that, even though he know he's not landing shots, some might say that's a little small form of slightly panicking, right? You're like, da da da, tiring. That takes a lot of energy. And, you know, he's just stepping in, stepping in, stepping in. And as you can see, Subriel can take a shot. This Liam guy, I saw him drop one guy, right? He didn't look like he had the kind of power that's going to give Subriel Matias any problem. Um, in fact, like I said, um, he didn't look any different or any special than any of the guys Subriel fought in his last 5 fights. Nah, so, and his competition didn't look that great, to be honest, if I'm being honest. I think Subriel Matias' competition has been better than this Liam Smith kid. Watch out when you see a fighter that's undefeated. And they say, "Oh, he's undefeated," and this, that, and that. All undefeated fighters are not the same. They're just not. Although he has 24 fights, 15 big ways by knockout, he's been 123 professional rounds. You know, he's fairly young. He's 27 years old. Matias is 30. He's getting up there. I believe he's 31. He's getting up there in age. He started his career fairly late. You know, um, but this is his opponent. His last opponents that he fought, if you're wondering, Liam. Okay, he fought this dude, Montana Love, and then Brock. Brock was 20 and 0 coming into that fight, and Montana Love was 18 and 1. He knocked him out in the 6th round, and he knocked out Brock there, the 20 and 0 fighter, in the first round. It goes to show you all two undefeated fighters are not the same. That Brock dude must have been a bum. Salud, Armando Papi. What's up, guys? It's it's easier to time a Regis progress than Matias. What's up, guys? Kakui? I think Matias' style is all wrong for Haney. Yeah, it is. It kind of is. Haney is just, but that pressure could wear a fighter like Devin Haney down. Now, I seen Devin Haney dance for 12 rounds. I seen him do it against Lomachenko. I seen him do it against other fighters. I know that Devin Haney has the endurance and he has 12 round championship fighting experience. The one thing that Devin Haney can't do, and I talked about this, is that he can't stay in front of him, and he can't like he has to stay on his feet. He's not going to be able to meet Subriel. But like anything, like if he does what the old great legend says, float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Enough of those bee stings, he can drop them. Subriel, as you can see, he's not a robot. But in that fight, Subriel Matias he has corrected a lot of things in which each fight his defense is getting a little bit better and his timing is getting better. I noticed that Subriel, he's more comfortable with the power shot on the inside now to letting it go. Where that before it took him a little bit of time to figure out he was pop shotting, pop, 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 boom, pop, 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 boom, right? Now he's getting his timing to the point where it's like one pop, pop, boom, pop, boom. He's more comfortable with his speed and knowing that he's gonna land it. He shaved a lot of the fat off of his boxing style, Subriel. Um, in the beginning of his boxing career, he was a little wild and his punches were a little bit further apart. As you can see from then and now, he's a lot more tighter. Subriel is, but he's not going to change his style. You're going to know what he's going to do. You're just not going to be able to stop it. You see, until they figure out that someone figures out that puzzle. Subriel Matias is the type of fighter that although like all boxers, I talk about this, do not look the same, but make no mistake, Subriel Matias, his style is that of, elite guys. He's not there yet to be in the elite level, right? Because he needs a little bit more work, Subriel, but he's headed there. He knows he's mastered his fighting style and not quite yet. I reintegrate. He's almost mastered it. He needs a little bit more for me, but he's gonna lock that shit down. And once he does, and his defense and his offense and his footwork, and he's just like a fine tuned machine. Oh my god, man, I can imagine. But it takes a lot to do that. Some fighters are stubborn. Some fighters, for as much as you train them and teach them, they just, you punch them one time in the face, they divert right back to the fighter they once was. It takes years of developing a boxing skill. Some men are able to do it at a faster rate than another man. And I've never worked with Subriel, so I don't know if he's the type of man you could show him up one punch, and by the end of the day, he's mastered it. Like Tyson. Tyson would sit in the mirror for like 40 minutes just throwing that one punch, mastering the form of the punch, making it memory, not to think about throwing the punch. It just snaps off, whap, and you want it to be right, and that's where your hard work and dedication comes in and repetitions and hours and upon hours. Guys switch coaches and training camps and they think that that one coach or training camp is going to change them. It doesn't work that way. The minute he gets in that ring, gets punched in the mouth, he diverts right back to the fighter he once was. That takes a long time of training. But with Subriel Matias, you don't have to worry about that. You already know what kind of fighter he is. You're just working on his tightening up everything. That's it. You don't have to change him. He already knows who he is. You already know what you know what I mean? So he just gets better and better and better. Um, I hope that this fight in Puerto Rico doesn't go the wrong way. Sometimes fighting in your hometown could be nerve wracking, you know, um, but I don't think that Subriel is that kind of man. I think he relishes in the moments, in these kind of moments, and bringing a fight back home to his island, Puerto Rico, would really be something. Okay, we were supposed to get a fight with Amanda Serrano, and we never got that fight due to a freak accident. So I know that the fans in Puerto Rico have really been wanting to see one of their champions that is born and raised out there to bring a world title back to the island. And I believe that the island deserves it. We've had a lot of storms there, a lot of bad times, and we've really been trying to pull ourselves together to rebuild. The island's been going through some shit and they've been hit hard in these past few years. And I really think it would boost up the morale on the island and it would even would solidify the night, would even be a win, you know? So that would be special. That would be truly special, man. And like I said, I'm gonna be in Puerto Rico during that time. I'm gonna be there. And if the fight pops off, I'm gonna be at the fight. I'm telling you right now. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be at that fight, right? So, man, the island needs it. Yeah, they do. They need it. We haven't had a. When's the last time we had a great Puerto Rican world champion that was a mega superstar that put on a fight like that in the island? Who was the last fighter to do that? So If I gotta sit here and it's been too long. It's been too long. You know what I mean? Haney can't clinch Matias? Why? Why couldn't he? Um Matias is a guy. You ever see when guys clinch Matias? He pulls off them, he puts his glove on their face and he pushes off of them. He's like, bro, get off me, face. And he puts and then bang, 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 right? Um, yeah, Matia punches out of the clinch real good. And in order for you to clinch him, you had to have taken a couple punches. You listen, I'm trying to tell you right now, these are some of the things that a lot of fighters don't think about, the wear and tear on your fighter. And look, it's sometimes it's not about the victory. I want my fighter to have a long career. These kind of fights against these kind of men, they put a lot of damage on your fighter, bro. A lot of damage. You know, each of the guys, if you notice, here's something. How many of the guys of the five guys that Subriel Matias may quit on the stool, how many of them have fought already? I'll wait. That's how much damage he does to these dudes. Think about it. Have you seen any of them dudes in the ring? Bam. That was a long fucking time ago. That's the last fight you saw in Puerto Rico with Tio. Damn, that's a long time. We need this shit, bro. We need this shit. Come on, PR, baby. Vamos pa'lante. Se acabó la uso ahora. You know what I mean? Yo, let's rock, baby. you know? Yeah, we need that, baby. So that's why at the same time when a lot of those everybody was talking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, in New York City. And if Ryan pulled out, they wanted Subriel to be like a stand-in, a fill-in, right? So, um, the thing is that I know that he want to bring a fight. He wouldn't mind fighting in New York City, but he wants this fight in Puerto Rico. And I know for a fact Devin Haney is not going out to Puerto Rico to fight Subriel Matias. That's bullshit. You can never convince me of that. It's not like going out to we're fighting George Camboza, going out to Australia. It's not like that. You know, um, hell no, it's not like that. It's not on the same level. I don't think Devin Haney's balls are this big, bro. Bro, if he ever did some dumb shit like that, bro, just off mere props, I would have to give it to Devin Haney. If he went into Puerto Rico to fight fucking Subriel, are you fucking crazy? Yo, they would have to put that fight on an even playing field. It wouldn't be in Las Vegas. It wouldn't be in Puerto Rico. Guess where it probably would be? In New York fucking City. Exactly where that fight is right now. But Subriel needs just to mind his on that one. Let Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney figure their own shit out. They already got a standby guy that's been sitting there in the post fights with an empty chair next to him. You know what I mean? So they already got a standby. Let them fill in. After that fight and after this Puerto Rico fight here in the summer in June, uh, Subriel and them, because check it out. Look, April 20th. We got April, May, June. They right there. They're a month, 2 months away from each other. That's how close their training camps would be. Subriel and Devin Haney. Think about it. Devin Haney goes into the ring April 20th with Ryan Garcia. Subriel is scheduled to go in June. And I'm hearing it's around June 15th. That's when his fight should take off in Puerto Rico. Now that's not finalized. Don't hold me on that June 15th date. Um, it's gonna be somewhere in June though. You could hold me on the fact that it's gonna be in June. That much I do know. Okay. The venue and the date is where I'm a little So, but it's going to be around there. And that's 2 months. Devin Haney and him right after their fights, right after Supriel's fight, you give Subriel 2 months and then the additional 4 months, or 3 months if he wants, 5 months. Subriel can be ready and be in front of Devin Haney. And Devin Haney would have had to have, to that point, 7 months. So don't tell me that Devin Haney wouldn't be ready. He would have been coming off a 7 month layoff. So he would be ready for his next fight. And I think they'll meet up right there. Yeah. Devin Haney said it. When did he say that? He did. I want to see him say it. Yo, if you could send me a link of a video where Devin Haney was saying he won't go to Puerto Rico, yo, I want to see him say that out of his own words, baby, because it was not the same like going out to with George Camboza little ass, right? Devin Haney knew he had George Camboza wiped down, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's telling you something right there. If listen, when Devin Haney's the type of man to say, he's always been quoted on this. I ain't scared to go nowhere. I ain't scared to fight nobody. I'm fighting all the top guys. I'm doing it. Go to Puerto Rico, huh? Oh hell no! Oh, you scared? Listen, that's a chink in the armor right there of the shit talking. Because at least he's keeping it real. He's like, man, I'll fight you, but fuck that. I ain't going to Puerto Rico. See that? I gotta see it. No. Oh man. Listen. Ah. Yeah, I mean, it's real shit though. But you see the difference? You see the difference? My man Devin Haney was willing to go out and fight this dude not once, but twice in his backyard. No fucking problem with it. No problem with it. Yo, go to Puerto Rico. Hell no. Hell no. Like 4 months ago, he said, yeah. I got, I know I can look it up and see it. Yo, I don't give a fuck what he comes in on that night. Yo, but on the Regis Progress fight, right? That was bullshit, right? You see what happens when you don't have weight clause or the IBF to step in for you? When he fought Regis Progress, that was a 140-pound scheduled fight. On the night of the fight, which is the next day, right? Devin Haney came in on fight night 165. 165. He was 25 pounds heavier. 25 fucking pounds he put on overnight. And sometimes when people are like, yo, you can gain 13 pounds overnight, 15 pounds, I'm like, bro, that's fucking easy to gain that much weight for these guys. This motherfucker put on 25 pounds. Bro, they basically picked up Devin Haney and went like this and squeezed out all the water out that motherfucker. Two big dudes, they just lo primaron. They were, yo, for him to make weight. How are you, Flaco? See? And he got up on the scale. He was, yo, next day, 165. Devin Haney's face was filled in. His shoulders were buffed out. All those little hunger cuts that he had, you know how when they get on stage, those are hunger cuts. Them niggas is starving. Yeah. Right, right, right. And then he came in. He was his frame when he fought against Regis, right, was just wide. Thick as fuck. So Jack, relax. Middleweight. I will. 160 pounds, middleweight, who thinks he is a triple G. Yo, listen, but look, let me tell you something. Cutting weight is a skill. It really is. It's a skill. And there's not a lot of people that can cut that much weight and then pop on that much weight. Not every man can do that. But kudos to the men that can do it. There are some men that, bro, they throw a fart and they lose 3 pounds. There's some men that they eat one fucking nugget and they gain 3 pounds. You know, I was the type of guy, almost my entire like shit adult life. I would maintain a nice size. I never was getting out of weight because no matter what I ate, it was just my metabolism. It was just that's the way I was built. And I didn't get to pick it. So that's truly an art to do it. Some people abuse it. They're weight bullies. Okay. They've always been 2 division size bigger. They just drain themselves out and go down and dominate much smaller divisions when they should be fighting in much higher divisions. There have been plenty of fighters through the course of boxing that have been criticized for that throughout the years. And that's very common in the sport of boxing. But it's there, and so I wanted to get on and I wanted to share with you guys that that's me. Yeah, one Twix is nothing. 5 pounds, man. You see, we're all different. We're all different, brother. You know what I mean? Yo, I couldn't gain 2 pounds. Yeah, man. Yo, last year, I was trying to get up. You know, I was at 188 pounds, right? I was trying to get up to like at least 190. I wanted to be around 194, something like that, because because I'm just working out. I'm older now and I don't really need to keep my weight all so much down. And I'm just a thick guy. I'm just thick. I'm real heavy up top. I have a real big chest, big arms, so I like to bench, a lot because I don't gotta really stay flexible. I'm not in the gym, right? But it won't let me gain weight, bro. Yo, I'm killing myself eating. I, bro, couldn't gain it, man. Nothing. Try. You know, Subriel is a natural 140 pounder, straight natural. Came in the game at that weight. That's how natural you can tell. When they come in the game at that. They're not fucking around. They're fighting the people their size. They're not bullying anybody else. You know. All Puerto Ricans are thick, bro. 90% of my family's thick. Oh yeah? That's awesome. My father was a boxer, and that's where I get it from. My dad was ranked number 6 in Puerto Rico. He was doing his thing, you know what I mean? Check him out, right? Check him out. You were a boxer back then. If you had a picture like this, bam! That's Pops right there. That's Pops. Look at the gloves. Look at the gloves. Yo, Pops had the slick back like this. Look at the Pops in the shorts. Yo, that was Pops' professional pitcher. That's my dad. Hey yo, you know you a boxer if you got a picture like this. You was one of them hard in the jet. Hey yo, Cano, hold for your picture, Cano. Huh? It's crazy, right? Pops was Pops got mixed up with some wrong people though. Yeah, unfortunately. He I think he was ranked number 6 in Puerto Rico at the time. He got mixed up with some wrong people and they wanted my dad to throw a fight. Yeah. And I guess my dad's pride kicked in or something. I wasn't born at the time. I think I was in my mom's stomach when this happened. And my dad decided not to fucking throw the fight. So the people that funded his career were like mobsters, I guess, in Puerto Rico. And my father decided not to win the fight. My father decided not to lose the fight. So he won it, and they shot my father like 5 times. They shot him in the throat. They shot him in the back 2 times, and then they shot, I think, in the arm or something. And then I don't know if the guy ran out of bullets or whatever, but they took a bowie knife and they stuck it in his arm and they cut him all the way up here. My dad's arm was cut all the way up, and they left him there to die. But my father's one diehard motherfucker. He didn't die that day. Nah, they found him bleeding out. They got him to an ambulance. He lived. It ended his boxing career, and then he ended up in New Jersey. That's where I was born. And then my father used to train the fighters in New Jersey, in Newark. I was born in Newark, and that's where I grew up, learning how to fight. Yeah, that was my dad. Uh, yeah, yeah, man. Well, my I didn't lose my dad to gun violence, but he took a couple of shells. Yo, I remember like for years and years and years. I mean, I guess that damn. If I come back and I think about it, if I wasn't born and I could remember as a child, I was like maybe 4 years old. I could remember my dad having that thing in his throat that he used to have to cover to talk. He had like this thing and he used to have to cover it. And he would go, oh, and he had like it made his voice real deep. It took a few years and then they finally took that out. And he had a surgery all the way up here like this on his neck. And he's just one diehard motherfucker. Yeah, my dad, he's escaped a few brushes with death. But unfortunately, he passed away 2 years ago due to complications and shit, you know. Um, yeah, but he was a tough cookie. He was a tough cookie, man. You know, he had 7 brothers. I think there was 13. My grandmother had 13 kids. Yeah, he comes from a big family in Puerto Rico, big family. So I mean, like it was 26 of us going to the same school at one time in New Jersey. We were labeled a gang. In fact, in New Jersey, we weren't a gang, but when one Montalvo girl fought, they all fought in Newark. That's where I'm from. So yeah. What's up, baby? You a fighter too? That's what's up. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. I look, I just chop it up a little bit. I come from a boxing family. I grew up where like my family would put gloves on us, and in a parking lot we would fight the neighborhood kids. We would fight each other if there was no one there to fight. Um, that's all we did. That's like my nephews, my cousins. We fought each other. We went to the gym. We fought. With my uncles and my dad, they were all fighters. They were all boxers and shit. Yeah, so that's how I came up. That's all I knew for a long time. So yeah. So anyway, fight fan, who are my 3 favorite fighters of all time? That's a tough one because it might not be the best fighters of all time because there's a lot of fighters that have a special place in my heart. Hector Camacho has a special place in my heart. Mike Tyson has a special place in my heart. Those are different. Hector Camacho just did something for me, bro, for my people, for everything. He was a showman. I was too young to understand what he was going through, but when I was little and I saw him, bro, that's all I needed, baby. I had that Spanish flag or that Spanish shirt on me the next day outside, rocking it like, yeah, baby, let's go. Like, he made us feel good about ourselves in a time where in that time Puerto Ricans were trying to find their identity, I think, in America. We were being called black. We were being called white. Why you trying to act black? Why you trying to act white? We were like in the middle. And when I remember at those times, I was going to school, and I really didn't. I wasn't quite sure what I was. and the world had me confused. Men like Hector Camacho kept me proud, and I remember those fucking moments. Yeah. So nah, man, they're just different for different reasons of why I have fighters. I love Floyd too, bro. I gotta admit, I love Floyd, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody say about Floyd. I love Floyd, man. Maybe it was my era. Maybe it was during the time I came around. Felix Trinidad is a fucking dog, bro. I went to that fight when he lost against Bernal Hopkins in Madison Square Garden. I was there, bro. That was a sad day for us, bro. You know, um, but top three fighters, like I said, man, like Hector Camacho, Mike Tyson, baby, them dudes is just they was like electrifying for me. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard was crazy, but I didn't get to enjoy him like fully. I didn't understood. I just knew that my whole family was cheering for him, so I think he was more influenced on me. Um, let's see here. I like this guy a lot. I like Inoue. He's starting to like creep up in there. I gotta be honest. He's just really good. He's really good. I love his boxing style in a way. If I had to throw in one fighter from present day right now, it would be Naoya Inoue. But it would be like Hector Camacho, Mike Tyson, Naoya Inoue. I'll give you one fighter from today and two of my old legends for my top three fighters that I have respect and love for. So listen, gentlemen. They had no TV back then in those days. None. My grandmother was just kicking them out, baby. She was kicking them out. No TV. Grandpa came home from work and was like, "How you doing, baby? What you doing, chula, over there?" He said, "I was in the same position you were when you left to work, puppy. That's all I need." Yo, Grandpa was no joke. Don't Duran in his prime, he was just electrifying. He's one Peruvian electrifying motherfucker. Yo, Duran looked evil, mean. He looked like a tough guy. He looked like everything. Yo, like he wasn't scared of no one. And his fist backed it up, huh? Duran was no fucking joke. I didn't want to be corny and just like grab one of the fucking legends and just pick them out and shit. Oh, my daughter's here. I got to grab her off the bus, guys. But I love you guys, man. It's been great. Yo, Jax, relax. He's going to start barking because he always wants to bark when my daughter gets home. So I love you guys. It's been great chopping it up with you. I had a great episode. And listen, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Armando, all you guys that turned in, yo, just relax. We're going to get the baby right now. She's not a baby. She's 10 years old. I just got to go outside and make sure she crosses the street. All right, guys. Love you guys. Hey, Rhinomanium.